Hey everybody, what is happening? Um, I have not been on camera in a long time. I'm glad that you're able to join me. I am doing this video because I am about 23 minutes away from turning 51. So I'm doing a pre-birthday slash birthday let's play, Pete plays, whatever you want to call it. And I really do thank you for joining me for this particular episode. I know it's been a hot minute or a hot half a year or however long it's been since I did a video last. But I am back at least for one more night, and we are going to play some RBI Baseball 3. We are going to play the rivalry that never goes away, the Red Sox and Yankees here. And I will kind of catch you up on what's going on. It has been a while, and there are changes that have gone on since. Me kind of get myself in gear first of all. Always swinging the first pitch. Probably shouldn't do that. That's a high fly ball, but that is going to be caught. Drop it. Oh well. So, since the last time that I was on camera, let's see. I got back into teaching. It has been a whirlwind of a last year or so. Really, from last August on, it's been kind of crazy. As you know, I think the last time I did a video, or not that long ago, I talked about the fact that I was working from home. That did not work out. Didn't really enjoy myself. So I found another job doing data analysis work, and that didn't work out either. So I was kind of going through the motions, right? I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, just wasn't happy, and I found the place that I was happiest was back in the classroom. So I took a severe, and I mean really harsh pay cut in order to get back into teaching, doing day-to-day substitute teaching. And then in November of last year, so November 2022, I got asked to do long-term coverage at the school that I am most familiar with. And I did some sixth grade science teaching from November of 2022 until February of this year. And then I got to cover, or I am covering, a social studies class from late February until early June of this year. So I have been fortunate in that I've had two long-term assignments to do. I have had fun with them, even though this particular class I'm covering now is probably the most challenging that I've had. But it's still fun. I still like being in the classroom and working with the students. Sixth grade is a lot of fun to work with. And we'll see kind of what happens next year. So I got back into teaching, and that's been both a blessing and a curse. A blessing because I like what I do, but a curse because the money is just not very good. Especially doing what I do now, because I'm not a quote unquote like regular employee. I'm kind of as needed. So the money isn't great. And the job also ends in early June. That sucks. Oops. So, I'm a little concerned because it's already late April. I have about 6 weeks of teaching left, and then I'm pretty much done for the year. That means I have to try and find something over the summer, or I might have to take out an emergency loan on the money that I put away for a retirement or something just to kind of get me through the summer. Which kind of sucks, but bills are bills. You have to do what you have to do. The biggest news for me, other than just what's been going on with my career, is that I finally made a decision that I really never thought I would make when I started collecting retro games back in 2012. That decision is that I'm going to be letting quite a bit of my collection go. Probably about 20% or so of my collection will be gone. Um, I made the decision to part with my Nintendo, my Super Nintendo, and my Sega Genesis, and my Sega CD libraries. Um, what are the reasons for that? Well, the biggest reason for that is that I need the space. Um, these games, these Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Genesis games, have just been sitting in boxes and cases since I moved to this apartment in 2020. That was like the summer of 2020. They've been sitting for almost 3 years. And I have found since I moved here that, first of all, I don't have a ton of room. As you can see behind me, I have games that I'm still trying to find places for, and I just don't have that kind of room. I just recently started uh, adding Xbox games because I wanted to have an original Xbox to play sports games on. So I got that for myself for a Christmas present last year, and I've been building up my original Xbox collection. And obviously, I have a huge PS2 collection, like almost 1,000 games. I've been working on building an original PlayStation collection, which just went over 800 games today. And N64, and I have GameCube as well, and Wii. And I think that's really what I decided that I wanted to focus on. Like the cartridge stuff, I don't necessarily need. I'd like to have it, but I don't necessarily need it because I have ways I can play, obviously. So between needing the extra room and needing the money for the summer, I decided to make the move and to start letting stuff go. I already have someone coming to pick up a few games this weekend, um, and I'm looking forward to seeing Sam. Sam's the guy who got me started in collecting back in 2012 as it is. So it's kind of weird that he's the first person that I'm starting to unload some of my games to, but that's kind of the way that works. I have someone that I'm in contact with that I know pretty well from Retro World Expo, and he also runs competitive gaming events too. And he's going to help me with pointers or figuring out how to unload the rest of the stuff without kind of taking a bath on it. Because what I was originally going to do, if I'm being honest, was I was going to take all the cartridges and I was going to put them in boxes. You can see the boxes behind me. And I was going to bring them to Retro Games Plus like today, just to get some money out of them and get that kind of room. And I didn't do that because I'm waiting to see what this person tells me he's going to do. But this stuff I'm hoping to have gone, mostly gone this summer. So I can use the space that I've been using in my closet, which is off camera here, to be able to store some of my my Wii games, my PS2 games, take those out of boxes and make them more readily accessible. I also plan on changing this office around a little bit. The computer desk that you see behind me with a computer on it, that would be gone, and there would be retro gaming set up in there. Instead of here on my desk, you see the GX TV, which is kind of nestled in off to the side here. It is a really tight fit, but I wanted to have that to use here in the office. So by redoing this office and turning it into like a retro gaming space, I would like to be able to do that very much. Like right now, I have all of my other retro stuff in my living room, and I just don't play when I'm out there. I'm using my modern consoles instead. So having a private place to be able to play all my retro stuff would be cool. So I'm hoping to do that once I get stuff moved out. And between that and getting some money for the games that I have and hoping to pay some bills with that, and if I'm lucky, if I'm fortunate to make enough money, and I don't know that I will, get another laptop, get a more modern laptop computer so I can do more videos like this. I've gone back to my Razer Kiyo camera, which is what I'm using right now, because the Brio 4K camera that I was using was just locking up my computer. It's like, it can't keep up with it. This Dell that I'm using right here has like an i5 core in it. It's like from 2015. Doesn't even have Windows 11 on it, as Windows 10. and it bogs down pretty bad. It only has like 8 gigs of memory. It's not great for making videos or for streaming or anything. So if I really wanted to do more live streaming stuff, which I don't necessarily know that I'm going to do because I just don't have that kind of time, but I don't even have that option right now. I've tried to do Twitch a couple of times and the stream just stutters badly because my computer can't handle it. So those are really the goals. I am not like jumping for joy that I'm going to be downsizing my collection. I never thought that I would do it. When I started collecting in 2012, I thought that was going to be it, and I was going to grow a library that I was proud of, and I certainly am. But I thought that I would hold on to that forever. I thought it was going to be with me until I was like dead and buried. That's just, it's not realistic. It takes up too much space. I don't have the free time that I used to have between teaching and even the free time that I have to divide. I like watching YouTube. I like relaxing. I'm getting back into modern gaming, which I didn't expect to do. Having a great time with Xbox Series X and PS5 and playing golf games and playing MLB Show, just really enjoying myself. I don't have boundless, endless time to be able to do all these things that I want to do and play all these things that I want to play. So you add all that up, and it just makes sense to downsize, to kind of make the difficult decision, kind of get some money back based on what I've spent or what I have accumulated over the years, and kind of refocus and narrow my focus on things that I'm really, really interested in. And if I'm being honest, while I love the NES and Super Nintendo and Genesis, like my focus by and large, I don't even know what I'm doing over there, for the last 5 years has been more 5th and 6th gen stuff. Original PlayStation, N64, and now that I have an original Xbox, I've been big on that. I probably should have picked someone else. I get it doesn't matter. So that's what's going on. In terms of how I'm going to be selling the stuff, I really can't answer that yet. I know I have posted some pictures of my collection. Oh, am I? No, that's me at the plate. I posted some pictures on Twitter and on Spoutable and on Instagram of some of the stuff that I'm going to be getting rid of. And some people have asked me about buying it or how I'm going to sell it, how I'm going to move it, and I really don't have those answers yet. I don't have an eBay account like for selling. I don't know the first thing about it. I suck at shipping. I'm afraid that if I send something that it's going to get broken in shipment. I would much rather, if I could, just kind of offload it to somebody physically and then let them kind of do it. And I don't know, maybe that's what's going to happen. I really don't know whether I'm going to be able to kind of give it to someone else and let them take a cut or whatever they make on it, and or they'll give me a cut or whatever they make on it or something. I don't know. I have to think about how I want to do that. And then, what I'm going to do after that, it depends. If I'm able to get a better computer, then perhaps I can get back into more YouTube stuff. I still have stuff that I want to open for you guys. Is that like the last out of the inning? I think it is. I still have brand new original Xbox games that I like to be able to open on camera, and I don't have the time, and I don't have the time to fiddle with OBS and the camera. Although it seems like going backwards to this Razer Kiyo is agreeing with the computer more, so maybe I'll do that. Oh. I did mention that I'm back on the modern gaming bandwagon. Man, that was weird how that all went down. Basically was able to get a PS5 last November thanks to like a PlayStation Direct pass or whatever, where they saw that I was a regular customer and they thought that they would sell one to me directly. So I went and I did that. And as soon as I did that, everything changed. Like, I haven't touched my Nintendo Switch since last November when I got the PS5. I can't go back. I can't go back at all. Um, I'm playing PS5, and now I got an Xbox Series X for Christmas, and that's what I've been playing most. Doing a lot of sports games on that. I mean, gaming. My gaming life has been good. I really don't have much to complain about, except for the fact that I just don't have as much time or energy as I used to have. When I started collecting in 2012, I was going back to college. I wasn't working. I was focusing on getting good grades, keeping my GPA high so that I would be attractive when I graduated. Uh, so aside from going to school, like 3 days a week or 2 days a week, depending on what my schedule was, um, life was free and clear. I had tons of free time, which is why I have a lot of YouTube videos and projects that I worked on between like 2012 and 2016 or 2017. 2016 is really when everything ended, um, and I wound up going into teaching that year, starting in the fall of 2016. And so I've been teaching for the most part ever since. But teaching, I love it. I would not give it up if I could be anything but a substitute. Like if I had the degree and if I had the certification, yeah, I would teach like full time for a living. But I'm happy with the opportunity that I have now. That's I thought for sure he was going to drop that. Um, and I'll do it as long as I can because other jobs I've tried. You know, I have tried to do other things over the last year, things that I thought that I could do, and they haven't worked out. Haven't been comfortable, haven't been happy. And for me, working for a living, doing something that pays the bills, I know that I have to do it, and I understand that work isn't necessarily always going to be a fun thing to do, but I want to at least have some enjoyment out of it. I like not being stressed out every morning because I hate what I do. And teaching has been one of those things, believe it or not, even with these last couple of months being tough. Um, I still love what I do. I would not give it up for the world, and I'm going to miss it when my time is up in early June. So, um, but that teaching just takes so much out of me as an older person. Like I'm legit. I feel like I ran a marathon when I come home from work now. And I usually am at the school late. I sometimes don't leave until 5:30 if there's like tests or something coming up where I'm trying to work on something for the kids to give them review stuff, or if I'm grading. And I stay late because I don't have distractions there in the building like I do here at home. Like if I come home and I have to do stuff, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd sit there and I'd look at it, like I can wait. I want to do this instead. Whereas if I'm in the school building, like there's nothing else for me to do, so I don't have those distractions. So I'm a lot more productive. I might have to make a pitching change here shortly. So I just don't have a ton of time. I don't have a ton of energy. And the time that I do have, or when I do feel motivated, a lot of it, at least of late, has been used on modern stuff, playing Xbox Series X or PS5. I could talk about the stuff I've been playing. Been playing a lot of golf. For someone who is absolutely like a liability on the golf course, like I play a lot of golf video games and I own a lot of like golf gear. You'd think that I was sponsored by Under Armour with the way that I have so much in terms of like Under Armour polo shirts. Um, and I watch it on TV and I play a bunch of video games. And you think, why does he just hit the course? Why does he hit the course? Because no one wants to get hit in the head with one of my wayward drives. That's why. I'm not great. Hey, I won the first game 6-1. That's perfect. What are we? How long are we here? We're 19 minutes in. All right, we'll play another game. Keep going. Play Miss Pac-Man. No. Here we go. So if I get that energy back, if I get that motivation back, I'd certainly like to be able to get back into uh, doing some more videos like this, talking about sports games, maybe doing some more writing on the side. It's just trying to find the energy to do all these things that I find fun. I just don't have that kind of time or energy like I used to have. So I'm about 3 minutes away. It's 11:57. Um, and like I don't even like thinking about the fact that I'm this old, and I don't act it. You know, I try and deny my age by pretty much everything I do. You know, you can't tell me that I'm 50. I still watch Looney Tunes and I'm still playing NES games. My favorite movie is like a video game movie and things like that. But there are certain things in my life that remind me that I am getting older. Um, I can't kneel down like I used to. Standing too long, I get sore. Oh, darn it. That's not what I wanted. Nice in the show a replay of me being thrown out at first. Yeah, thanks for that. Um, but yeah, I mean, here I am, about to turn 51. It is a very low key birthday. I am not doing anything. I did some stuff today, as in the 21st. Shout out to Retro Games Plus in Newington, Connecticut. I made my yearly trip for my birthday down there. I like to go during my birthday every year, but the last couple of years because of COVID, I didn't go. So I went back this year. I got myself some original Xbox games and some original PlayStation games and a couple of issues of classic video game magazines. The pictures can be seen on my Twitter page and on Instagram as well, if you follow me at either of those places. I think I did pretty well for myself. It's certainly exciting to find things on my wish list that I didn't have yet. I just kind of looking over here at what I got. I think that's it for... Nope. Safe, right? Only 2 outs now. I have so many original PlayStation games that I never expect to find anything that I need when I go out and about, and I haven't done it in a while. That's why I usually will go on like places like Lucky Games or something like that online, where I can just get the games that I know I need rather than looking around. Yep, gonna stop right here. Gonna hit time. So it's 12 a.m., which means I am now officially 51 years old. I am older than the internet. It is April 22nd, so it is awesome to spend the first few minutes of my birthday with you. Thanks again for checking out my stuff and kind of listen to me ramble here as we play through some RBI baseball. I think we'll finish this game here before we call it a night. Gonna try and go 2-0. So yeah, don't really like the fact that I'm getting older. My body likes to remind me that I'm getting older, and that is irritating. I think the worst part is doing laundry. In the apartment that I live in, my washer and dryer are located in the basement, which is where it is for everyone who lives here. And the staircase is like like a spiral staircase, and my knees do not like those stairs at all. Like, I can feel them kind of creak and crack and groan and moan, and that's a foul ball. Like, I thought to myself, maybe I could just drill a hole in the floor and drop my clothes into the washer, but that's not going to work. That was another big expense, speaking of washer and dryer. When I first moved here in 2020, and like for the first year and change that I was here, I was bringing my clothes to the laundromat to get washed, and that was costing a ton of money. So I sucked it up and bought a washer and dryer, and I have like 7 more payments on the washer and dryer, and then they'll be paid off. That's going to feel pretty good. Kind of like paying off a car. You like feel good when you finally have it paid off, although you're kind of curious as to how long it's going to work. Ooh, that was close. So I don't necessarily mind doing the laundry, but the stairs definitely don't agree with my old man body. That's a foul ball. Oh, sweet. There we go. 2-0. And a runner at second base. We're not going to try and advance him to third. I think I mentioned it before. One of the games that I'm playing on the Xbox Series X is MLB The Show 23 or 22. I forget which year it is. The most recent one. One of the cool parts about having Xbox Game Pass is that you don't have to buy the game outright. And if you're like me and you just want to play stuff like Return to the Show and not do like the... Is that fair? That's fair. Nice. Do any of like the Ultimate Team stuff or the Diamond Dynasty stuff that they call it. You don't have to. I'm playing through Road to the Show. I'm a closer. And playing as a closing pitcher is great for me because of the fact that my attention span is really narrow. So coming in and like throwing an inning, oh, that sucks. Throwing an inning or two and playing through like 5 or 6 games is awesome. That is just perfect for me, and I'm having a blast doing that. I did mention that I'm playing golf games a lot. Playing 2 of them. Playing PGA Tour 2K23 and playing EA Sports PGA Tour. Talking about the EA Sports game is important because I read that game a death sentence. No. When I first got it, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was the worst thing ever because there were certain things in the game that weren't like accessible. Well, not accessible, but just they weren't friendly to less skilled players. I didn't realize though that there were things like challenges in the game where you could increase your level and your skill points and make your golfer better so you could actually compete. And once I figured that out and I started grinding and improving my golfer, it became a lot more fun to play. And now I'm having an absolute blast with it. Not perfect by any means. It's still kind of buggy. And like the music will cut out and the commentary repeats itself way too frequently. And there are issues with the putting dots and the putting path where it's not quite right. But despite these things, I'm having an absolute blast playing it. I think the biggest thing, though, is in order to get the most out of it and to improve your golfer well, you have to grind a bit and you have to play full 4-round events. I never used to do that. I only used to play like 1 round, and that was it. So playing an entire like 72 holes takes a long time, and I can't really do that in one sitting. Again, attention span being what it is. So I'm having fun with that. If you happen to see it, if it goes on sale at some point, I think I can recommend it now, as long as you're willing to put the time in and you're willing to improve your golfer the right way. If you're expecting to just go in and start shooting like 10 under in your first round, forget it. That's not going to happen. You need to grind. You need to improve your golfer. You need to do some of the challenges that are in the game and improve that way. But once that's done and you've kind of done your time, so to speak, there is a lot to like about the game, and I can recommend it that way. Off to a 5-0 lead. I will take this. PGA Tour 2K23, on the other hand, is probably way too easy. The presentation is not great. It reminds me more of a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 game in the way it looks. Lines of commentary repeat themselves. Their course commentator says really vapid stuff that just isn't interesting. It's just the presentation is not very well put together. And I talk about this a lot when I talk about sports games. Presentation means a lot to me. I want to feel like I'm in something that's on TV. If that's not the case, if it fails, or if it's kind of sketchy, then I'm not a fan. Unfortunately, that's 2K23's biggest problem. That, and like I said, the fact that it is a bit on the easy side. I can shoot like ridiculous numbers in that game, especially using the 3-click button swing, like the 3-button press swing instead of the analog swing. That's something that was just added to PGA Tour, by the way, the EA Sports game I have to try. Oh, baseball, golf. What else have I been playing? Vampire Survivors. I've been playing a lot of on the PS5. Fiat Rhythm, Final Bar Line. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy music, so that game was pretty much an easy sell for me. Although, if I'm honest, I much prefer the 3DS curtain call in terms of play controls. The input lag, the input delay, even on game mode on TV, when it comes to getting like the best timing, I can never figure it out. Like there are times that I'm right on, and I'm still getting either good or great ratings instead of critical. That's not great. Oh, hurry up! There we go. So I'm playing that too. Arcade Paradise. I think I might have talked about that before. If I didn't, then that's my problem or my fault, because that game's a lot of fun. The campaign's a little but managing an arcade and playing through the arcade games, and trying to go for high scores and doing like the daily to do things, and even before the arcade gets full, like when you're doing laundry, like I kind of got into that a little bit, trying to get S ratings in every load of laundry that I would do. I don't do that at home, but in a video game, sure. I'll see if I can get an S rank in the virtual laundromat. Why not, right? So that's some of the stuff that I've been playing modern. I didn't think that I would get back into modern gaming. I really didn't. I thought that when I got rid of my Xbox One X and my PS4 back in November of 2019, that was it. I was, or November 2020, I should say. Was it 2020? Yeah. Yep. It was November 2020. I decided that I was just going to disconnect it, and then I sold it all off in March of 2021. And I wanted using that money to get my black Sega Sports Dreamcast, which is in the other room. I never thought that I would get back into it, but I think after playing Switch only for a while, and with the poor frame rates and the issues with resolution, and knowing that the newer consoles would play the games better, I decided I needed to kind of cave. And I'm glad I did. Even playing something like NHL 23, which is not any like award winning or anything like that, but still being able to play modern sports games again is a big deal for me because I'm such a sports game fan. There've been some other cool stuff too. I didn't like the new Dead Space remake because the focus on melee combat kind of drove me a little nutty, but it certainly looked great. I've been having fun with a game called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a game that not a lot of people liked, but because I liked the Borderlands kind of game and the fact that it's more fantasy based, I dig it. I have a lot of fun with that too. And I have more games on that because of games I bought for the Xbox One X that I bought digitally. So I have more games that I could ever play. And just not enough time to do that. Here we go. So I have one out, runner at third. Oh, I might have to swap out my pitcher here shortly because he's not getting it done. See? All right. One more batter. I think then I can get to the bullpen. Oh, here we go. It's a big strikeout. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, and I'm up by 10. Well, I think this game's over. There we go. So that's what's been going on. I guess the last thing that I'll leave with, because we're getting close to the end of the game here, it's like the top of the 7th, would be the future of the channel. I haven't done videos in a long time. As I mentioned, the computer is the big problem because it is older and because there are issues with rendering and with the video quality kind of not matching up. OBS sometimes doesn't play nice, and I think the problem was that I was just using a camera that was too good for the computer because I was using a Brio 4K camera, and that's the end of the shutout, darn it. So I went back to this Razer Kiyo camera that I'm using right now, and it seems to be better. I'll find out when this video is done and I upload it, whether there's any kind of problem. But if I have that all worked out, I'd like to come back. I don't know how often I would do it. Again, the next 6 weeks are going to be pretty busy with wrapping up my teaching assignment. But I can definitely see myself getting back and doing some more Pete Plays episodes here because I really like doing these. Just kind of talking on camera. Unscripted, off the cuff, even though it sometimes wanders. It is fun for me to do. I'd like to do that more. If I've got the computer problem fixed, then I'll definitely have to look into that. But if I do well enough with selling this stuff that I've got, who knows? If it can get me through the summer, or at least get me a buffer in the summer where if I get like a part-time job, like 20 hours a week, and I have enough left in the bank, that was stupid. Who knows? We will see. But if you want me to keep at it, maybe I will I'll have to try and find the time. I know there are a couple of people when I mentioned that I had stopped doing YouTube were not happy. Now, granted, this channel has very few viewers. And my video quality, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I don't get scripts. The cameras aren't great. I'm doing this in a room that's full of random stuff. The lighting sucks. It is not something where I expect to get like 1,000 subs with the setup that I have. But if there's enough interest, I mean, that's I have to be on it. I have to be honest about it because if I'm not, then it makes no sense. But in order to kind of do stuff like this, like there has to be some, even as unfair as it is, like there has to be some kind of extrinsic payoff. Like there has to be some reason for me to keep doing it. And if there's nobody watching this stuff, then it really makes no sense for me to continue to put time and energy into doing it. So we'll see. Not going to make any promises. Don't know for sure. But if there's enough interest for me to keep doing it, and if I know that I've solved the computer problem for now, definitely see myself doing more things, maybe on the weekends. All right, we're almost done here. Top of the 9th, just have an inning left to go. I'm going to go 2-0. And I am just striking out like nobody's business here. Kind of embarrassed. There's another base hit, and that's going to be a double. Stand-up double, even. I think the main focus, if I do come back, is to do more videos like this. I do have more games that I could open on camera. I haven't opened a sealed game in a long time, And one of the reasons I haven't done that is because the last time I opened a sealed game, the video got corrupted. And that was a game that I was really looking forward to opening. And that really has stuck in my craw. Like, that was a game that I paid a lot of money for, and I was looking forward to opening on camera to kind of show off. And it didn't work out. So that really irritated me. But I think, and again, we'll see. I think what happened was I was using a camera that's too good for the computer. If that's the case, I think I might have solved the problem. We'll see. But I like doing this because I'm playing a game, and it's almost like I'm playing a game and you guys are sitting next to me and we're kind of having conversation, even though it's a one-way conversation. And that's fun. And if I get a newer computer that can handle it, I'd love to be able to do like Twitch streaming or whatever. I could kind of converse with you guys as a but I have to see what happens there, and I'd have to find out like how fast or how strong a computer I would need to be able to handle Twitch, because I know that this computer is not going to do it. So we went 2-0. I think I gave up one run in like 17 innings or 18 innings. That's pretty gosh darn good, and it was a solo shot, so I don't feel bad about that. So it's 12:18 a.m. This video has been going on for over 40 minutes. I am going to call it a night this time. Thank you very much, all of you that watched. I really do appreciate it. As I ring in my 51st birthday, I'm now going to kind of just kick back and watch some YouTube and kind of reflect on what's been 51 years. I don't even know how I made it to this point. Thanks again very much, everybody, and I hope to do this again soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.